going on YouTube? Today I want to talk about the topic, the cycle of debt. Hopefully you know what that means. I'm sure many of you do. If you don't, I'll let you know what that means. Here's an example. A friend of mine gets back from a deployment and says, I just got back from a deployment, guess what? And I said, what? And she said, I just paid off all my debt, I'm debt free. I said, good for you. 3 years later, same friend, we're talking on the phone, and she says, I just got back from a deployment. Same conversation. She says, guess what? And I said, what? And she said, I just paid off all my debt, I'm debt free. I said, good for you. But I thought, I think I've heard this before, I could be wrong. Fast forward 3 years later, she said, do you remember that time the finance office made a mistake on my pay? And I said, I don't, but what about it? She said, well, I just got a lot of money, tax-free, back pay, and I just paid off all my debt. I'm debt-free. I'm going to assume that my friend is in the cycle of debt. I could be wrong. I've been in the cycle of debt, and I didn't like it. When I was in my 20s, I was in debt. I had credit cards, a few, but they were all maxed out. I thought that's what they were for, to max them out. Credit cards is a topic that I've talked about before, but here's the deal. It makes it so easy. They make it so easy, the credit card companies, for us to go get what we want right now. It's not our money. And I don't say that in a mean way or I'm passing judgment, because I've been there before and I lived paycheck to paycheck and I had debt, consumer debt, unsecured debt, credit card debt. And after a while, I wanted to get out of that. It took a lot of time for me to get out of debt. I made it happen. And now, whatever we charge on our credit card, we, meaning my wife and myself, we pay off when that bill comes in because we've worked hard, and that's the plan. The cycle of debt is an evil thing, in my opinion. I speak from experience. So if you are in the cycle of debt and you want to get out of debt, you have to have a plan. What is your plan? It begins with the budget. Identify how much money you have coming in, where your money's going, how much is left over, if there's money left over. So you have to want to get out of debt. Then you have to come up with a plan. Sometimes when I meet with people, and it's been a while since I made a financial video, maybe a month or so, I meet with people and I say, what's your goal? Why are you here? Why are you here to see me today? And they want to come up with a plan. They just don't know how. So luckily I can help them out. I give them the tools, but they have to work hard week in, week out to get out of debt. It takes time. I know that. Sometimes an individual may have too much debt. And if that's the case, there are agencies out there who can consolidate an individual's loans with a reduced interest rate and a payment plan. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not. Dave Ramsey has talked in the past, and I agree with him, that when somebody uses a consumer consolidation loan to pay them all off, the other loans, they don't learn anything because somebody's managing their money, and that could be true. So we have to learn to do things different. Whatever we've been doing to get into debt, now it's time to do the opposite. Like I said, I say this because it's a topic that I love. Debt is my favorite, by far, financial topic. And it's just wanting to come out of being in debt, whether it's in 1 year or 5 years, working hard to get out of debt. And the key thing is not going back into debt. Because you may hear people say, oh, I was debt-free, and now I have some debt, or a lot of debt. And they're back into that cycle of debt. It's not a good thing in my opinion. Hopefully this helps. If you ever have questions on debt, contact me. I don't sell anything, so I just like to talk about finances or the military because that's what I do. And it's possible. Have faith, have a plan. Work hard, stick to it. If you are married, I will say this as well. You have to be on the same page with your spouse. If not, it's going to be an uphill battle, stressful, it's not going to be fun. What is the reason you got married to your husband or your wife in the first place? Think about that. I've been married 18 years. We're still a work in progress, but I love it. I'm very lucky we work together. When my wife has input on finances, I have to take the time to listen, and if I have to make adjustments, I have to make that happen. Take care.